welcome back to my channel. So I thought for this video I would talk about how I've been using some older sketchbooks as inspiration as part of, I would say, a bit of process and development of where I want to go with some sketches and things I've been doing recently, and then taking inspiration from past work to do that. I don't always look through past sketchbooks, but I had this thought about a couple of things in these two here that I sort of thought, oh, I want to do something with them. And I think it is good to look back sometimes at sketchbooks, and where obviously you're wanting to move forward all of the time, but there's often good pieces of work that are good for development wise, and then you can see how your progression has moved. Hopefully that makes sense. This here wasn't really a sketchbook. I think it's a notebook, but it's had quite like thick plain paper in it, so I used it like a sketchbook. I think it was just supposed to be a plain notebook. I had two of these, and they were both given to me as gifts, and I think I would look to potentially buy one if I saw one, because they're quite nice, thin A5. The paper took really well to a lot of wet media. Really good. I don't know when I did this one. It might have been 2021, a couple of years ago. I've got no dates on it. So this is the first one that I've looked at that I remembered was in this sketchbook, and I thought I really want to develop it. And as you can see, I've wrote a little note. I used a burnt umber ink along with some Inktense sticks, and I really wanted to develop this. I liked the using the one colour for the fields and then the poppies at the bottom, and yeah, it really just reminds me of like an autumn day, autumn fields, maybe on the moors, etc. So the first one, I thought of that one, and I thought I really want to develop it. I bought a specific ink to do it, because this is acrylic ink, and I didn't really want to use acrylic ink because acrylic ink can be quite shiny. And I wanted more of a matte finish, more for mixed media work. So I decided to buy a specific ink because I thought I might quite use that a lot. So I bought actually a couple of new Diamine inks of Cult Beauties. Not Cult Beauty, Cult Pens. Cult Pens. It's one of the limited editions, and there's something to do with guitars, but I can't remember. It was like a collaboration, and I bought a Tobacco Sunburst and Honeyburst. Beautiful. I have actually swatched these out so I can show you them. And I bought those specifically with this idea in mind, and I didn't have an ink like that. I thought, oh well, actually it would come in really useful. That is it there, swatched out. So the top one's Honeyburst, which is more of like an yolk coloured, like an orange yolk off an egg, like it was that sort of colour. And then Tobacco Sunburst, which is a gorgeous, similar to this burnt umber colour. So I used the Tobacco Sunburst as the base to produce this, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm going to do more of these because I want to progress it further, and I wanted it to feel like I live in the northeast of England, and there is a place called Teesdale, beautiful landscapes, and they have these lots of white houses that belong to Lord Barnard and the Raby estate, so Raby Castle. And I wanted to add one of these little white houses in, and make it feel like, and take inspiration from this, but also inspiration from the landscape of Teesdale. Heather on the moor, added the poppies in at the bottom, and a little white house for the baby estate. So I really like the progression of that to that, adding in the incorporation of the mixed media. So that was the first one. It's the only one I've taken out of this sketchbook, but it was very particular that I was looking for. So moving on, I then got this one here from 2022, and this is is it Stillman and Burn? Oh no, it's Strathmore. It's a Strathmore sketchbook. And it's a mixed media sketchbook. And it's in this, I remember when I bought it, I hadn't realised it was going to be this colour paper. And I wasn't initially keen on it, but actually I grew to love the paper. And it's a very, very thick paper. Brilliant for mixed media. It does take a lot of wet media, which is brilliant. I'm just going to put some of these pencils away. And I remembered that I'd done some landscapes in this, so I wanted to, as part of my looking back over past work and inspiration, using this as inspiration as well. So thinking about Teesdale and the landscape there, looking at this, which was again inspired by like the Teesdale landscape and a bit of heather and sheep and the white houses. This was from, I have stamped this was from May 2022. So I wanted to use that ink again, and I liked the composition of this here, the hillside, and how like it sort of goes off up that way. So I developed that into this here again, but I added poppies on the bottom, and I've added some extra coloured ink onto here, the white house in the top. I didn't add the sheep on. I did put a poll on Instagram to say sheep or no sheep. Didn't say where I took the reference from. I looked at it and thought I don't really want to add sheep onto it, and the poll sort of was a bit more in favour of no sheep as well. So I just decided to put no sheep, but I liked using this composition to create this. Added some heather in, and again used the poppy fields at the bottom and a white house on the landscape. I love this like sunset, sunburst effect that I got in the sky. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the light coming through, really, like as if the sun's behind a cloud. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm really happy with those two progressions. And then I've just done, so using again this sketchbook, I've took a couple out of here that I've used again for inspiration. So again, using this one here, which I don't think I was that keen on when I did it. It's a very rough sketch. Didn't really like the sky, but again, looking back on it, I like the composition. So looking through this, I thought actually there's elements of this I want to take in the sketchbook work that I've been doing recently. So again, very inspired by Teesdale. At the time, this was May 2022 again. So I'm obviously got Teesdale in my head throughout my work in my sketchbook last year, and then it's come back to me this year as well. I'm obviously quite inspired by that. Moody moors, getting some moody skies going on, you know, very stark landscape, but absolutely stunning. So looking at that, I then developed into this here. And I've changed it slightly, as you can see. We've still got the little white house. There's no sheep again. I think I'm going to stay clear of sheep, I think, potentially. But, so no sheep in it, but I've added the heather again and made it a bit more prominent. These little flowers and a bit of heather mixed in between at the bottom. I've used the ink, I've used various different things. I've used some pastels and made it more of a cloudy not sunset, maybe cloudy sky with a bit of light coming through at the bottom, little white house. So yeah, really love that one. So that was that one. And then also again, moving through the sketchbook, let me see. I did this. I don't know when this is from. I haven't put a date on it. Let's see. Well, this is 2022, so maybe it was June. The last one that I've marked in here was May. So this could have been June or July, potentially, of 2022. Again, elements that I like, elements that I don't like. I like the composition. So I wanted to use the composition again. I'm not as keen on the sky. It was more this bit that I liked. And you'll have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been doing a lot of wintry sort of beach scenes like that. So obviously taking inspiration from Teesdale, inspiration from the beach, which I love, and getting those wintry vibes going on. So taking the compositional elements from here, I decided to create it into again a winter beach scene. So this here could be a river, could be a sea running through. In this one here, I wanted it to be the sea coming in. So you've got the bay here, but then you've also got this here, and then it sort of runs into a little waterway because of how it's come in. And I just liked the element of it flowing through the sort of landscape. So I wanted to take that piece there, which I have done here for this winter landscape here. And I'm really happy with how this has turned out, and you know how all of these little bits have come together recently. Now, whether or not I progress them any further, I'm enjoying doing them. So I'm enjoying looking back for inspiration and how to move it forward or incorporate it into my work at the moment. And we'll see where we go. So this video is more just a little bit of process and development for Sketchbook, but also to think about using your own work for inspiration, thinking about things that you've done, to either incorporate some sort of elements from them, whether that be colour palette, whether it be your composition, and seeing that progression through. And I really like that. And I really forgot how much I liked this sketchbook, so I may get another one of them. But yeah, I hope you found that useful video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.